All right, Teddy, have a good show. Here we go.
What you looking at, boy? What you looking at? I got a TKO on wherever the pool is at. What you looking at, boy? What you looking at? Got two toolies of my own, I don't need a gat. Hold up, no sir. Step up to the mic, bring me closer. Sabotage back in the lab, and to stop that you gonna have to go through both. That swole up. Anytime I pull up the bars, I buck up my shoulders and pour the heart. Word to God, my gift.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. If you happy like me, yes, indeed. Everybody, it is the Knockout Hour with TKO. Your one, the notorious one, the biggest one, the one your mama and them be talking about. But, it's also something you can say now. And I've been waiting to say this for 6 years. 6 years. If y'all follow my career or you're new to my career, the one thing I've not done in this professional wrestling business of mine is say that I am a champion, singles champ, one tag champs, right over here with my brother. You know, we won tag champs three times actually, with three of my close brothers. But today, it's official like a whistle, baby. I am the Gals Junior Heavyweight Champion. That's right, the champs in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. And this is all me. So, I wanted to start off by doing that to start the show. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining the Knockout Hour once again this Monday night. You know what time it is. If you're joining us again, thank you for coming back. It's an exciting week. We're going to go ahead and have some exciting news for you guys later on when it comes down to boxing. Because my news is going to be better than those matches. I tell you what, because those matches were trash. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's start off like we always like to do on this show. And that's, of course, always talk about our previous weeks. So for me, uh, let me see how I start. Let me see. Well, beginning of the week, yeah, start out a little different. However, you always got to try to just wake up, start your day off fresh. Try to, again, set out your goals, what you want to accomplish. Shout out to Bright Speed and JA Solutions for, first off, the great opportunity I get to have to talk to so many individuals out here to help them with getting fast and reliable internet. And at the same time, working for two of the coolest bosses there is in the business, man. That's Wavy Vegas and Matt Stacks. They are two tremendous bosses that, again, they acquired, say, a great company where they have hired a great team of individuals that helps us out as well as salesmen, or we like to call ourselves install coordinators. But Dr. Khan is a great, influential man, knows a lot about this business, um, 10 plus, 20 plus years in the game. And he just passed so much knowledge. But a lot of things that they do is they also instill so much positivity and like really critical thinking, things that challenge you as an individual. I find myself, the older I'm getting, to realize that life throws so many obstacles at you that you got to learn how to adjust and make the right decisions. Now, the right decisions at certain times may deem certain consequences in one way, in other ways, rewards, right? So, being an adult and knowing that, again, we make mistakes all the time, we just gotta learn to admit to those, figure it out, and then try it again and see if we can get that right. But that's what I strive to do as best as I can, just being realistic. Years before, yeah, I was a fool. I mean, ain't we all though? Because I mean, like say again, sometimes we get mixed up. Sometimes that we allow what we think the reality of life really is instead of what we're really encountering. Everything looks real on TV until you go through it, and then you realize it ain't just as sweet, or it's not again a nice little song to start off your day. When it comes out to your story, that doesn't mean you don't wake up every day with the purpose of writing a story for you. So I find myself where if there's a lot of negativity, sometimes I have to just slow down and think instead of react, because that led me to again make a bad decision sometimes that could have broke up friendships and started arguments unnecessarily, like a lot of times and most times it is. But again, man, I pray every day as much as I possibly can to, make changes and stuff like that to again just enrich my life and do better. But anyway, um they always started off week positive. So as the week went on, I started to find again being more optimistic, looking for the opportunity, looking for the next chance to really again go to the next level in my mind to have a better day and keep proceeding forward. So as the week went on, I got a little bit emotional. Um, and the reason why is because like for so long I try to again think one way and try to lock in the emotions. But when I cut that promo the other day, I don't know if a lot of people seen it. If you have, thank you for watching it. But when I was saying that when it came down to this championship belt that I'm holding right here, how bad I needed to win that, that was from my heart. Just as much as any other time that I am doing something in this wrestling business, I give it with all of my heart because I don't have to do this. You know what I mean? Like I got so many things in my life that I'm grateful for and I'm blessed. So wrestling for me, yes, it's my passion, it's my goals that I do have set, and I achieved this one as well. But I had to bring that home. And when I say that, it's more of a mental concept because I know where I started with this company and I know how far I came. I know from the first chance I got that opportunity to even to this day, I am forever grateful and humble to be a part of this great wrestling promotion. Thank you, Grog, for always giving me a chance. Even from day one, looked at me and like I said, man, and now we're here at this moment. I know, like say someone like him with all his experience in the wrestling business, uh, match after match, I had to go through it all. And as I've grown at every match, the crowd grown with me. And that's what really, if anything, was special to me. This whole run to get to this moment I have right now was really uh, knowing that the crowd stayed with me through this whole 3 years I've been there at this company. So when I won Saturday, well, when I won Saturday, it just it put everything all together for me. It's the beginning of my career to the ups and downs of it all, knowing that there's some doors or some walls that they try to put in front of you. And man, every time you swing or try and knock down that door, sometimes you realize maybe that's not the one you need to go to or go through. I had to learn that. I had to learn that maybe just this night ain't your night. I've been told that so many times and lost to so many individuals. I think that again wasn't as prepared as me for that moment, but I ate that. Pause. I know a lot of other people in this wrestling business, and we all know how it is to try to achieve that goal and how many times you tell you you're not good enough and you feel that way. But I am proud to say today, after all of that, that we brought it home. And I say we as the knockout out, I say we as my family, I say we as everybody that believed in the TKO, everybody believed in Icon Pro. We did this. We did this. And so for me, I know my duty going forward, knowing that to me, when I being a champion, if they gave me this title, that means they believe that I could elevate this title and push this company to new heights. And that's what I will do. Because I do that every single show. Up there, a few quavering of my people at the Mason jar. I love y'all. Because y'all always show me love. Little Landon, happy birthday. Things like that. And we're going to come all the way to Mebane next show. It's going to be in May. It's going to be my first match as the new Gals Junior Heavyweight Champion. I want y'all to come out and show love to your boy. Because somebody going to catch a fade. For sure. All right, but when we come back from this song right here tonight, we're going to play a song from OC from NC. We're going to spin this right here. It's the Hip Hop Spotlight. We got OC from NC again with another banger. We're going to come back after that. I'll tell you a little bit more about that match as well later on in the show.
Girls want head. See how quiet it got? They told me Black Phillip wouldn't work. Then he pulled me out the dirt like, what's the word? I'm that nigga with the work. Wait, you probably heard about him. Call low to get merch, get herb out him. Call Black Phillip when you want to
tracking my return data. They already know when the GOAT coming. Dope boys, dope running, trying to go fund it. Wait, just keep punching till they don't run it. The flow hunted, the ghost got doom in it. Move in it like we in the house, but a room in it. Loom in it, the shine from the moon hit it. Zoom in it, peek the design, you see the grooves in it. You see why I pissed Neil off for 2 minutes? Wait. Wait, I'm God getting his wheel off for 2 minutes. Wait, we mastered the P's, we gave it new limits. Wait, losing my brother was a shocker though. Turn to the Zulu, let's see what Shaka know. Mama been telling me my chakra low, but shit selling, so I got to go. Got the glow, let them know for a couple of bands, niggas will rock and roll. Hey. My nigga, you're not the GOAT. Official, nigga, we ain't even a band. As soon as we land, start looking for Metallica. Hey, if you see we leaving the land, it's me and the band. I'm looking for Metallica, my nigga, look. We already got a drummer, he know everybody number. We just looking for Metallica. Hey, we probably get it for the steel. Tell him put us on the bill with Metallica. Wait, you know my cousin hate flying. He more accustomed to the iron or walk through customers in a line. Get him accustomed to a time, that's a walk through a custom of the times. Wait, they just finna bust another rhyme, I can flip modes. I'm Tim Duncan on the big goals. Wait, my pen jumping if you didn't know. You say a bunch of niggas spitting though, we ain't tryna hear it, cuh. A spirit bomb, clear your spirit up. And leave a nigga hearing us like he here with us. Hear the buck from the first person, first placing, first take 'em. The old basement, the old basic. He'll let everybody go, then flow in a full house, but it's Oasis. It's cause your phone wouldn't pair in the Matrix. It's record players on the spaceships. Wait, look, nigga, we ain't even a band. As soon as we land, should be looking for Metallica. Wait, if you see we leaving the land, it's me and the band. Should we looking for Metallica, my nigga? Wait, we already got a drummer, he know everybody number. We just looking for Metallica. Wait, we probably get it for the steel.
A nigga tried to rob me in New York about a month ago. Now, wasn't that dumb? A nigga gonna stick up a black man. It is a difference.
There we go. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, man. That's OC from NC with another fire track that is Black Metallica. If you like that song, please check them out on Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your music. Dope track, man. If you want to be played or want your track spun during the knockout hour, please hit me up at iconpro.tko@gmail.com. That's iconprowrestling.tko@gmail.com. Said it wrong the first time, right? Bet. So, really quick, man, to get into the part about the match. So, going into this match, man, the emotions were flowing, man. I just kind of felt like it was my time, everything just really kind of came together that day. I was feeling good, looking good, time to go. Got in there, man, and what a match. I was lit up, bro. Like my chest right now is still like my chest is red as hell. All the chops I took, I got bruises on my, so I don't even know where it came from. I'm like, what? I don't even know. But you can't tell me I didn't go. And I said what I said. I wanted to do anything it took to get this right here. And as you can see, I was a man of my word this time around. So, man, so as the match went at one point, it put me in a stalling suplex. So a lot of people, it's a vertical boom, post your boy up. And I'm sitting there holding myself up there because for me being up there as the person that's kind of compromised, it's hard to, again, get out of that hold when somebody's kind of holding you a certain way. So, man, the blood was flowing to my head. However, like I said, at the end, I was still was champ. So, Roosevelt, I know I got some matches coming ahead, potentially going to see him down the road. Because I know for being a champ of this title right here for 4 years, I know he's coming back. But as I said before, and I say again, I'm willing to fight for whatever I got to do to keep this title because it's not going anywhere. I promise you that. So anyway, let's get into some MMA news, right? So when it comes to MMA, we got Kamaru Usman and Jaquan Buckley and the UFC main event set for June the 14th. Now, the former welterweight champion, Kamaru Usman, will take on a surging contender, Jaquan Buckley, again on June the 14th. It's going to be in Atlanta. So the UFC CEO Dana White announced that this past Friday. So I know we talked about that before on the show because Kamaru Usman has a record of 20-4 and has not fought and since a majority decision loss, and that was in October of 2023. And the former 170-pound king took the fight on a short notice at a higher weight class. He will be back in his normal weight division for this 5-round bout, which would headline UFC Fight Night and the State Farm Arena. So I know I'm definitely going to be watching that fight because for me, I still am a big fan of Kamaru Usman. I like his journey to the UFC because I think that's important. It's not always what people are able to do performance wise, but it's how they got there and the legacy they're going to set. And I think that he's ran into a tough young challenger because I like Jaquan Buckley. I think he's exciting. I love his fights, man. So this right here is one of those ones where if if predictions lead me correct, because we're looking at Kamaru Usman is currently ranked number 4 and Jaquan Buckley is ranked number 6 right now in the welterweight division in the UFC. This right here is you looking at the future versus possibly the past if he goes out there and performs well against Kamaru Usman. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. That's a tough one to call. And this type of business, I would stay away from that if I was betting, But if I'm looking at it as I'm looking for a dog, of course, you got to go with Jaquan being younger. Um, he could be all gas and no brakes, just like Jacob Fatu. He could be built for that moment and he's going to go all out. So we will see because I'll tell you one thing when it comes to UFC, they definitely put on more of a fight than boxing. 'Cause Lord have mercy. We'll get into that. But yeah, if I were to say put some change on that, man, I'll say probably put it on Buckley because if you put on Usman, of course, he's not the underdog in this fight, so you get your money back a little bit. But if you really want a little bit of change, man, you probably want to put some on Buckley. And to say with Buckley too, there may be a chance of a knockout. I would think. I think if we look at going to the later rounds, then you can look at Kamaru Usman's experience of being a champion can really be hard and difficult for a younger guy, let's say like Buckley, to overcome that feat in later rounds. Because a lot of times styles make matchups. You could put your head down and be a bull in the ring, and you can get caught with a lot of things. But we do know that Jaquan is a man of a lot of skill right now, being young. So we'll see. Because again, styles make matchups. So we got the young versus the old. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how that goes. On May the 10th, we got a fight. This UFC 315. We got Ball Muhammad versus Del Manalinda for the UFC welterweight fight. I think that's another exciting fight the UFC has lined up. Again, a potential slobber knocker, as JR would say that in WWE, from Ball Muhammad, because a lot of people, I'm glad that DC and on the Get Money Sports show put it in perspective. When we look at people that's performing now, we can't say, or we shouldn't say that they're goats because they still have a career to finish. And that is very true, especially in UFC. I like those terms a lot, especially with the fight game, because you look at fighters of the past, like the Chuck Liddells, the Tito Ortiz, and so on and so forth. Again, now in their right Hall of Famers, now in their right legends, trailblazers. However, you gotta look what these young guys again, they're coming up, they're more equipped with skills and talent. So someone like Ball Muhammad is on top of the mountain, and I hope he remains to be there. He can possibly finish his career on top of the mountain, which would be awesome. But it's always to say, man, you gotta be young, you gotta be very careful with these youngins out here because they got nothing to lose and they want to do whatever it takes to get that money. So we will see how that really works out in favor right there. But then we got Valentina Shevchenko versus Marine Ferret for the women's featherweight championship. I love Shevchenko in this fight. I think she's an excellent fighter. Again, in UFC, it's not some necessarily sometimes you can look at someone their record to determine what type of fighter they are. And I know she's a dog as well as my girl Marion. So we're gonna look and see how their fight pan out, and that's gonna be on May the 10th. Uh, I did watch some boxing because we're gonna go inside the ropes when it goes to boxing. And what a lackluster weekend of boxing it was, man. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what. Boxing is really. Oh no, sorry. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm gonna get back to UFC for one more second. See, this is what I don't understand, and this might be my hot take. It's gonna be. I don't know what you want to call this segment. I'm gonna call it a hot take. I do not understand why are we making a movie on Mark Kerr. I'm not dissing the man. I am not. This man went out there and fought one of the greatest fighters I've ever seen. But hey, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Walt. I appreciate you, brother. Hey, we did this, bro. We did this, man. We brought this home to the knockout hour, baby. Hey, thank you, Walt, man, for your support. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for joining the show. But I would say, man, personally, I don't want to watch a movie of a man showing that his greatness was all derived from painkillers and doing drugs, steroids and stuff, just because it was legal at the time. See, it's crazy how like we sit here and we deem that so bad right now, but yet we're making a movie and want people to make billions of dollars off of something we knew back then that was illegal to the sport at the time, and people still do it. And it's crazy to me that okay, I like The Rock as a wrestler. I do not want The Rock playing an MMA fighter. He don't look like him. His voice is horrible. I don't know who. When just because you take with the messy voice, Dwayne Johnson plays Dwayne Johnson in every movie he's in. I don't care. This man cannot play anything but himself. Like it just don't work, bro. That's like when 50 Cent try to do movies. 50 Cent is 50 Cent in every movie he is. 50 Cent. That's exactly what he is. And The Rock, unless you change something dramatically, you are the same character. It's like Kevin Hart. So for me, like, I think it's wild that we glorify and I mean not glorify, excuse me. We want to talk about the greatness of someone, but we know he clearly was a cheater. But let us tell the story about the great Muhammad Ali. Just because he didn't want to go to the war because he didn't believe in and lost his title, we call that something that was bad then, you know. But we look at it, we know steroids have never been good when it comes to competitive sport, especially when it's banned in a combat sport. The man takes that, got health problems, got to go fund me, and we supposed to feel sorry that you wasted millions of dollars because you made the money to go get out of here. That stuff makes me don't make no sense to me. It really don't. It is wild to me to think that I gotta I should watch the movie because The Rock is in it, playing a UFC fighter, which in my opinion could have just got a UFC fighter, made him look like Mark Kerr, and put some money in his pocket, Rock, because The Rock don't need that money. And I'm gonna be honest with you, The Rock's movies have not been really that good. So to play a part of something I really would have liked if it was like a TV movie or something, be great. But we're talking about trying to make millions of dollars off a man that was cheating. It's like making a movie about Lance Armstrong, like riding the bike. Like, come on, man. What? Where's the line, brother? Where's the line? Come on, tell better stories than that. Jesus. Let's talk about. Let's talk about Francis Ngannou going across several times trying to cross over just to have an opportunity to make it to America, and he did. Why don't we talk about that story or make a movie about that? No, because it makes sense. It don't have to be glorified. Last thing I would say, that's like the Von Erich movie. I'm not talking smack about the Von Erich movie. I'm not gonna watch it because I know the story. So just because Hollywood want to make something look pretty and stuff in 2 hours, it's 10 times more tragic what happened to that family than what you try to paint it off on the movie. I just think that is wild. It's it's a money grab. You ain't getting mine because I just don't see the point of that. If I know the truth, then you don't need to Hollywood it up for me. You know what I mean? It's just kind of weird to me. But that's just my take. I don't understand why they just do things like that. It's really weird. Yeah. Anyway, you want to know the real story about the Von Erichs? Ask the one brother that's still alive. The story he tells every time that actually true. Instead of we're gonna put it on the big screen and tell a bunch of lies and add some stuff. I don't need all that, man. Like wasting my time. I don't want to watch movies like that no more. But anyway, when it gets to boxing, so we had a terrible weekend when it comes to the one division that had to really show out this weekend. And what a weekend it was. So we had a fight go down. What I think the promotion is the ring promotion, but it was in New York City, downtown. Yeah, Ryan Garcia right in the Batman car, which I thought was dope. But he was on the passenger side, so it kind of fit the description of Robin because he got whooped Saturday by my man Rolly. I like Rolly, man. Rolly went out there. He was a dog. He walked him down. He put him down in the second. However, Garcia got up. It's funny and unique that Floyd Mayweather said 6 years ago that Rolly Romero would beat Ryan Garcia. And I find that so freaking weird because it was 100% true. And he beat him the same way he kind of hit him up in training. So shout out to Rolly. Rolly kind of just seemed more like numb about it all, like as if he wasn't happy with Ryan's performance, like you didn't bring your best. And I agree. And I hate how Tyson and these analysts, number one, Pat McAfee, please go sit down somewhere. I don't know how Pat McAfee's on every sport. You were just a punter in the NFL. I love Pat. Man, go sit down. Go give me Oscar De La Hoya or something. I don't want to hear a football player talk about some damn boxing. I'm sorry, irritating. But I'm tired. I like what Tyson says at times because he says like where like Teofimo Lopez, he looked tremendous. He looked really good, looked smooth. He looks like, again, had a championship against Barbosa. He looks really good. But then you turn around and Devin Haney was horrible. Like, I know these guys had long layoffs. I know that. Just like Ryan Garcia and Haney, I know that. But please throw some punches. He's getting to a point now. All these fighters are YouTube fighters. Y'all more worried about your image online or having the undefeated record that y'all can't even fight nobody no more. Ryan Garcia with 2 losses should not be considered washed. But yet the way he went out and performed, he did because he didn't start out the way he wanted to. Finish strong and get through. I don't understand boxing right now. I don't for the Americans or what we see in the American product. Because my man Inoue, he's out here still destroying people. Inoue is doing his thing because he come out with another victory this weekend. Again, looks unstoppable. They like to call him right now the monster. And this guy right here is 30-0 with 27 knockouts. He is by far right now dominating in his division. He doesn't walk away and shy away from anyone. We're looking at potential, which we would hope it would happen. That Inoue will go against someone like Tank. Now, to say, would Tank be up for the challenge? I do not know. Because I think Inoue will floor him. It wouldn't even be worth the fight. It really wouldn't. But it's crazy how in 3 fights, Haney, Timofino, and Canado's fight against William Skull. I went to sleep on that. It just, what is wrong with boxing? Huh? Like, what happened? When I was a kid, I loved boxing. In MMA, it's not saying MMA took talent from boxing, because I think boxing is you're either born with it or you're not. It's natural. The only thing you really need to do is know more of, like, say, the concept of can you clinch and bang? Can you be able to step? Can you get away? It's a lot. But I think as a talent, you're not necessarily. I mean, you got to be born with the skill and ability. I think sometimes to be an amazing fighter, and to see someone like Canelo Alvarez in a Williams Skull fight really, really, really pissing me off, man. Like, I'm really getting irritated with boxing. I really am, because where is the passion for greatness? Tyson, a lot of these great fighters, Tyson lost 6 times. Well, 7. But people don't realize, do you even care who he lost to? No. But he's the greatest of all time. Why? Because he didn't run from any fight. Muhammad didn't run. Any of these greats of the past did not run. George Foreman just recently passed. We talk about greatness. He talked about how feared he was of Joe Frazier. Yet he went out there and he beat him. So some of you guys in boxing today, I need to man up, get tough, start getting ready for some championships instead of worrying about this social media. That don't mean nothing, because those fans ain't the ones fighting for you, dog. You need to fight for you. So we're going to take a quick little second to go to another OC from NC hip hop spotlight moment. This is the Immaculate Constellation.
Check. Couple more plays, we about to stop making them. Couple more days, we got to drop weight for them. So stuck in my ways, we about to stop way. So stuck in my ways, we back in stock. Baxter Stockman, fly on the wall, watching a rock band. Locked in, a locked in, making sense now. Niggas that play both sides got off the fence. I'm convinced when you play those rhymes, you not convinced. Not when this I design like if Plato rhymed. Took a trip out west just to say those lines. One stop in Texas, my only play no rhymes, cause they know I'm timeless. NC's finest, do rewind this. Beat Tampa. Me and B started out with some weak crowds, but look at us, peak now. Look at my week now, I'm weak now. Wait. Like it's hard being discreet now. Brand new Jordan 5, see my defeat. All the time pain turning to rhyme, see my defeat. Whatever's out of control, you all delete. Off the beat, nigga. Fish. Still tugging, still thugging, still going, chill dugging. Been a long road. Niggas will turn on you. Hey, it's been a long road. Still tugging, still thugging, still going, chill dugging. Been a long road. Niggas will turn on you. Hey. Slid up to the hill, I'm the Johnny Deal. 3 bad bitches on the wheel. My, think we got a baby, let me grab the wheel. Too much attention on it. You only hear from 10 to 2. What's the tension on it? Just meet me after in the room. What's the tension? Make sure your friends ain't around for the legend. Don't get found in my mentions, baby. Don't get found in the mentions. Cause you define it massive pimp, as profound as the Simpsons. Bitch.
Yeah, y'all want to hear me sing. But anyway, that right there was OC from NC with the Immaculate Constellation. And that right there from Project 25. You want to hear that dope track again, please check this out. I mean, check that out, excuse me, at on Apple Music and on Spotify. Anywhere you can find your source of music, go check out OC from NC. And if you want the track spun during this show, during this here show, during the knockout hour at the same time, it's easy. Hit me up at iconprowrestling.tko@gmail.com and we can make that possible for you. Let's talk business. But when it comes down to business, let's talk about the wrestling business. And that is Monday Night Raw. Yeah. And when it came down to it, man, a lot of things been spiraling out since WrestleMania. Again, with Backlash approaching soon. Um, the main thing with the Backlash theme show is they're going to do a lot of things that run off of WrestleMania to, again, finish up on some stories and probably continue on and, again, get new life and new characters. It kind of seems like where when they start at the WrestleMania season, it's a new day. Yes, it is. And so when it comes down to Monday Night Raw, you had Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker kicking off Monday Night Raw. Again, just to address who they are and what's their purpose and to let people know that again they're not done. It's just the beginning. And then you realize Sami Zayn comes out here. Sami Zayn. Now I did mention that Sammy's going to be that extra person to someone. I mentioned that. However, Sammy decided to decline and not take the offer. And then yet Braun Breaker laid waste to Sammy. So, man, what a way to start off Monday Night Raw. I like it. It's the way I started out hype. I think it was a good angle to get the show going. So when a lot of times with WWE, what they do is if they start the show off with one thing to kind of keep that one segment throughout the show, so it keeps it intertwined and keep the show all together. Kind of like, again, you writing like a storyline for TV, which makes sense because you want people to kind of understand. Again, if they're not necessarily a wrestling fan, but they can just kind of follow and join along, it helps them in the long run, right? So then we got a match between Rhea Bloody Ripley, and she is going against Roxanne Perez. I think there was news reported that her and Julia is now called up to the main roster on WWE, which I think is awesome for those young talent. I think sometimes it's better for WWE to sometimes just go ahead and call someone up instead of wait for a draft or something overly, big surmise of it all just to get them to come to the main roster. I think if you did your job and your talent, you should just come on over seamlessly and let's see if you can go ahead and make it work for you. She got an amazing match, however, she came short because of the disqualification and allowed Rhea Ripley with the win. And then you got Jay Uso. He went against Logan Paul. And well, not going against, excuse me. I would say more of a verbal jab when it comes to the microphone. When Logan Paul out here saying that and stating that he should get an opportunity at the WWE title. Jay Uso was sitting here dropping some bombs on him. Now I would say that again. I do not believe that he should be champion long, nor should or I would have went with the decision of him beating Gunther. However, I'm not also the owner or on anywhere close to the staff for the WWE locker room. So again, that's just my opinion. That doesn't mean that I could speak for the billions of dollars that they make. But for me, no, I wouldn't even done that, man. I just think that again, it's just a quick money grab. It puts money in Jay's pocket, put money in WWE's pocket. But I look at the longevity and the legacy of the title. We're looking at again the future of where we want to say this great person, that great person. And I think Jay will be a great Intercontinental Champion, hell, even a great U.S. champion. But I think World Heavyweight Champion, it's kind of hard to fathom sometimes. But did, however, and as he always do a lot of times, know how to work the crowd and was talking straight smack and facts to someone like my man Logan Paul. So I think we got a potential match coming up down the road, and we should see what happens between these two guys right here. And then we had a match between the War Raiders and Judgment Day. The War Raiders again losing to the New Day at WrestleMania. So knowing that again they got to catch on fire to potentially get a rematch against the New Day. Of course, they got to go through some challenges and obstacles, and one of those things was the Judgment Day with the return of JD McDonough. He is back with Finn Balor, and they had a great match. However, the Judgment Day came short because your winners is the War Raiders. I like that group a lot. I think the thing with the War Raiders is it's got to be they got to, in my opinion, they're gonna have to go heel. Um, and they gotta like just rip through the division a whole nother way. I think them trying to be baby faces is a stretch because they two big guys, and you would love to love guys like that. But I think when you look at some people like that, you want them to be mean and nasty. Long day, long day. You want them to be mean, nasty, just throwing guys all over the place. So I would love if they turn them heel. That'd be an awesome move. And then Becky addresses the crowd, as they say, the man, but I'm not gonna call her that. I'm gonna call her the woman, Becky Lynch. It's nothing against her. I just think that when you look at the other um talent that came up at the same time she did in the women's division, you had Charlotte, you had your Becky's, um, you had your Sasha's. I'm not saying that she did not deserve nor earn what she has achieved in her career. But I would say that going forward, I don't see her as the type that kind of is the Hulk Hogan, John Cena type. I think there's a lot more talent on the roster that can push her to her limits and honestly pass her, and not just athletic prowess, but sometimes just commanding the crowd and their presence. You got young talent like Tiffany Stratton, even as Jade Cargill, we'll talk about later. It's a glow that some of these women have when they're on that camera and then that screen. Sorry, second time. But when it comes down to somebody like Becky, man, I think that with the newer talent coming in, it's sometimes harder to keep putting labels and titles on great champions like she is and remains to be and will continue to be. But I think someone like her, a heel turn, does make sense because at least she has more times to work with the younger talent that eventually she could probably win me over as well. I'll just be honest with you. But I'm not the biggest fan of Becky Lynch. I think she kind of pulls a Hogan card too much. But we should see going forward what her intentions really are. As again, she just returning after winning a tag team title at WrestleMania with Lyra Valkyria, but yet turned on her last week. And then we got Stephanie Valkyria, the NXT Women's Champion, and she's going against Ivy now. Now, I like the usage of Stephanie Valkyria on the main roster a lot. I think she is exciting, very good talent. I can't wait till she comes to the main roster. I think what they're doing now is they're going ahead and engaging her on the main platform because I think she's not going to spend too much time in development. She don't need development at all. She really is ready for the main stage. Of course, with her being from Chile, it's going to be a little time when it comes to her vocabulary on the stick, the mic, to come around to be great for, again, American viewers or English viewing fans. Jesus, I got a case of sleepies. But now, but I think, man, she's gonna be a great addition to the Monday Night Raw roster. And as like a fan of hers, I like Booker T. Man, when she does that move, I'll be doing the same thing. But she is wow. Um, got a great future behind her. If you want to say that, but she is going to be a very good talent for the future in WWE. I like that a lot. And while we even in this moment, I know we addressed, or I probably should address that, knowing that they got talent from AAA, I think it's awesome. You got people like El Vikingo, think he's gonna be dope. It'll be a different change up. I think WWE doing a great job of kind of like closing the door when it comes to wrestling. Because I think at this point, if you have higher promotion and you want, let's say, other people to come in and do as well as you are, no, I think WWE is trailblazing and setting a path for people to know that this is how wrestling should be. It should be a spectacle. It should be taken as serious as every other major sport out there because we out here physically putting our lives out here for a sheer fact of again winning championships and at the same time getting that money, baby. So I don't understand why people don't view us as the same when it comes to laying our bodies out here in order to get fans, viewers, money. But we do this because we're passionate about it too. So I do like what WWE is doing to say, hey, this is how wrestling should be. And if we kind of follow the course, then it makes it everybody pockets get fatter in our business. But then you got Pat McAfee out here. He addresses Gunther about what recently transpired the week before because Adam Pearce took the week off and he allowed Nick Aldis to come and be substitute teacher for him. So Nick Aldis had a little fun. After Pat McAfee tried to address Gunther or what he did to him the previous week on Monday Night Raw, Gunther came out because they were saying to him he got tapped out. Remember they was talking all that smack for Gunther lost to Jey Uso. So he came out there and started putting hands on mans and started choking out Michael Cole and he put the tongue of death grip, or as I like to call it, the Justice of Kane, because I choked him out the same way. But he choked out Pat McAfee until he couldn't breathe, almost losing consciousness. You had his boys jump over the barricade trying to save him, which I think is funny because I was like, ain't none of y'all gonna be able to touch Gunther if you did let you go. But it was good to me. But Nick Aldis addressed the fact that since it looked like Pat McAfee got such a problem, such a problem with Gunther, he said no better reason to go ahead and fight it out this year Backlash. So we got a match with Pat McAfee versus Gunther at Backlash. I'm pretty sure this is the way they're going to take out Pat McAfee because he has to return back to college football because that is going to be starting up in a couple of months. So I'm pretty sure this is their way of getting him out of WWE until he returns after probably Mania season next year. So then we got Sami Zayn's decision, which led to a match of Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn. Because of course Sami said no, that he's not going to join him. However, we already know there was consequences to be made because he got punished brutally attacked, overpowered throughout the whole match. So at the end of the day, man, I think Sami Zayn, and they're setting it up. This is just my prediction that Sami Zayn will join Seth Rollins' group with Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. So with that being said, man, if it does happen, I think this is a great story because then it goes back to Roman, and then now you have layers to build back again, making Roman a super baby face for his way out. Because that's what they're going to have to do with Roman. I do love his heel work, but we see the path that he's going because he's looking for more redemption at this point. Because it did as he is the tribal king, he also stands alone on his throne. So we'll see how they'll work the story of Roman Reigns in. But I do believe Sammy is the missing piece. He should go against Jey Uso. Remember, Jey used to always used to talk smack at Sammy. He used to always talk trash to Sammy. Now they boys. Come on, man. I can read between the lines. I see it a mile away, Triple H. I see you, Triple H. I know your business. We'll see what goes on. All right, man. We're gonna go to Friday Night SmackDown. And we're gonna talk about the first match on the card. It was LA Knight, yeah, versus Damian Priest. And this right here, I think it actually led up to yeah, I think it's gonna lead up to something. We're gonna build it up because what happened was Solo caused a disqualification. So that was the finish of that match. But it leads to something later on. Then you have Pretty Deadly versus Faxium. Faxium now I think is a part of the SmackDown roster, as they was the NXT Tag Team Champions, I think, for 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. But now they're a part of the main roster, and they got a big, huge win over Pretty Deadly. Even though Pretty Deadly is new on the main scene and all that, yet it's still a big difference to see a young team like that come out and get a big win to start on the main roster right now. So that was awesome. Good job by Faxium. I like them a lot. They're a really good young tag team. And that's hard to find today in today's wrestling on the main stage is a solid, cohesive tag team that's not just put together just to be saying, hey, they need to do something. But I really believe they genuinely enjoy each other as they are tag and winning matches. So then you got the Miz versus Aleister Black. So last week was the return of Aleister Black. Excuse me, previous that was the return of Aleister Black. As we know that he signed back from AEW, came back. We kind of knew that writing was on the wall once Triple H and Vince got out of the way. We already seen that was a matter of time. And I like Aleister Black and some of these guys like William Regal, where they find every little edge way to be like, hey man, can y'all let me just go home? I'm a little sick. Can y'all find a way to let me go home and WWE to fix myself? And I think that's dope, man. I really do. So, however, I think the crowd, man, it's like he has to earn back all of what he done in this business. He has to earn it back, man, because the crowd was kind of, in my opinion, if they had the mics turned up, but it was kind of flat. And I thought that was really weird, especially for someone like a return of an Aleister Black. Hmm, we'll see. We shall see. But of course, come out victorious. He wins against the Miz. So good job by the Miz too. I think people don't give him enough credit for being in the WWE almost 20 years, a homegrown product. Started out on the Real World, which I love that season he was on. But for him to now have climbed the heights and became a Grand Slam champion is freaking amazing. And a lot of people don't give him enough credit for the work he does, putting over a lot of your young champions that are, again, the stars of today. So I want to say shout out to the Miz for doing the job for Aleister Black. And then you got your new. That's right, new. I like that. We can use this new championship thing, right? But you got Selena Vega versus Piper Niven, and Selena Vega is your women's United States champion. She is still your United States champion. And so that's pretty dope, man. Congratulations to her, man. And um, hard work, determination, not giving up, waiting for your chance, and she capitalized. Shout out to you, and hope your reign may be long and um, when it comes down to it, bountiful with money. Then we got Ray Phoenix. He went against Santos Escobar. My man, all right, let's do this. Ray Phoenix get the win. I like Ray Phoenix geriatrics, but do not make his entrance nowhere close to his brothers. I like Cause Penta remind me of like with the entrance and the excitement, he remind me of La Parker. I swear he do. Now I thought about it, but I love me some Penta. And I love Ray Phoenix. But those two, even though they're brothers, they're not nowhere similar at all. I think like it just we're looking at east as far as west when it comes to styles. So, but I do like what Penta has to offer. We'll see as he continues to wow the crowds of WWE. And then as we built up to, we had Jade Cargo and Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax and Naomi. Now, first and foremost, it's crazy to think that we got Jade Cargo and Tiffany Stratton, two youngins, going against the vets of Naomi and Nia Jax in the main event of SmackDown. It was a good match. I think Jade is really coming into her own. I'm glad they are not holding her back on weekly shows. They're doing a great job on knowing where with some talent, pull them back. Let's work on something. Okay, now let's go out here and let's do it. I think she's doing a great job. Even with Tiffany Stratton, she's doing an amazing job. I know she had a bad match in Mania. Um, that was one of those things where passing the torch could be difficult, I think. And I think with Charlotte, she wasn't willing to give up that moment as much as Tiffany wasn't prepared for it. Again, it's experience. It's nothing that is unsightly in the business for her that what she does. I just believe she needs to slow down, take her time, be in a moment, and listen to the vet every now and again, because maybe it will help you learn how to counter and be more clever. But I would say to Anaya, seeing her not back on screen after a couple weeks of being gone after she won her title with Tiffany, that seeing that return match coming up potentially because this Friday on SmackDown we got the number one contender match between Jade Cargill and Nia Jax, which obviously you know Naomi, which again, Naomi is doing a beautiful job of changing into a darker form of herself. It is so good. Even the little snappy, witty comebacks on Twitter. It is so funny, man. I love everything that they're doing with Jade and Naomi's story. I mean, it's really hard to be sewn into the women's division, but I think they got to really dial it in with these two with this story. As we develop more going forward on SmackDown with some of these ladies, again, we had a great tag team match. I think Jade had a great performance. Tiffany did a good job. Nia did a great job. Well, she dragged Jade to the corner and had me dying laughing because she was just like, get your butt over here. But they looked really good. Every piece of that match looked good, even down to the end when Naomi, again, in this crazy abandonment way, she fixed those ishy shots that she was giving on those little things right there. I'm glad she fixed that because that looked bad. It looked like a child fighting. I don't like when people do that. It looks weird, and especially in wrestling. Because realistically, when you look at a wrestling match, we're simulating a fight, right? So to imagine at what fight would you do that and be victorious? You know. So even if you are being a dastardly heel or you're trying to create again some heat, I still kind of tighten up on the reins with that. But she did a good job with that, and I think all the ladies in that match killed it. I think it was a well put together show. I do know that they said SmackDown will go back to 2 hours real soon. They wasn't planning on keeping it 3 hours very long. I think they did that for Mania season, probably to just be able to work on building more stories, gaining more crowd viewership. As they probably will do that later on too, going back to Mania next year. We don't know. Well, we got plenty of time. I do know that I'm planning on trying to make sure sometime in August, because I know August is SummerSlam, 2 nights. See if I go down there with the boys from Get Money Sports and hang out with them, kick it with the boys down there in the ATL. Have a great time with them as we watch SummerSlam, but we'll get to that later on. As the weeks go on, we'll have other special guests on here as well. Next week, I know we do have written down your boy, my boy, Metallicon. He may should be on the show next week. So man, for sure, man, be able to lock in with us next weekend. I mean next Monday, excuse me, when he comes in here. And every other week we're gonna just keep adding on. I know I'm gonna try to bring in the Icon Pro Tag Team Champions. That's the Ebony Giants, where you got Jamal the Titan and we got my man Jamal the Titan, and we got my man. Uh oh Lord. I gotta make sure I get my names right. Jamal the Titan. Get it a minute. Let me think. Jamal. I'll get back to you on that. I know I just drew a blank for real. That's crazy. How can I forget my champion? That is wild. But anyway, I'm gonna have them on the show soon, man. Don't y'all, Lord, y'all be with me. It's been a long day. But anyway, man, it's been a great show this Monday night. I know that this is not normally, again, one of those things that seems like it's a common occurrence where I just seem less prepared. I just been celebrating at the same time, trying to get a lot of things in my life centered. As I mentioned before, I mentioned earlier, um, life throws so many obstacles your way. And you just gotta learn that every day you got an opportunity to make your day better. So I'm gonna keep striving. And let's say today wasn't my day, right? That doesn't mean tomorrow I can't become a better person or the next day and so on and so forth. So I encourage everybody out there, if life knocked you down today, hey, that's fine. Don't let them be able to get the next one. That's what I'm gonna say. Because I know for me, I'm gonna fight just as hard or even harder to turn my situation because again, nothing's ever promised. But if you get another day to take that chance to do it all over again, hey, that's what God bless it for. And now, like I said earlier, it will be Jamal the Titan and Dom Pete. Yeah, I got it right. I just drew a blank. But anyway, if you like everything that you heard tonight, and I appreciate you guys, we'll definitely love to have you here next Monday. But I'm gonna go ahead and get my social media plugs out. So if you want to be able to check me out on social media, leave a like, comment, share, show some love. My name is Teddy Ireland Jr. on Facebook. On all the other socials, when it comes to my other platforms, it is TKO336 on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. And then where else you can find me. And also, if you want to check out my little company, huh?
Your mic's out, Teddy. Your mic's out. You listen to the Knockout Hour here on BFAM 109.6. Let's go ahead and congratulate TKO one more time. That's Teddy Ireland Jr. for a great win this weekend in his first championship belt. Let's go. Gouge heavyweight champion, Teddy Ireland Jr., TKO. We are so proud of you. Stay tuned next on BFAM 109.6. As at 8:30, we got Swingwood Bunny. And you can catch the TKO show next week, Monday at 7 p.m. right here on BFAM 109.6. This is DC for TKO. Check us out next week. We're out of here.
What you looking at, boy? What you looking at? I got a TKO on wherever the pool is at. What you looking at, boy? What you looking at? Got two toolies of my own, I don't need a plan.
Hold up, no sir. Step into the mic, bring me closer. Sabotage back in the lab, and to stop that, you gonna have to go through both the swole up. Anytime I pull up the bars, I buck up my shoulders and pour the heart. Word to God, my gift.